Hello and welcome back to Tyranny. Now, I apologize for the lack of sound in the last video. Unfortunately, due to time constraints and the fact that I truthfully did not actually think that that was going to be a problem at all, I didn't think to check the recording to see if my voice had recorded at all. So, the other problem is that I actually played through this video before. This is the second time recording this video. But because I had saved and then was notified that, hey, you don't have any sound on this video, I had to completely restart the game, and here we are again, back at the beginning of this video. Now, the only things that have changed are, unfortunately, my companion here has been injured due to my incompetence, and I changed one thing in the conquest mode, and that was what the last city I invaded was, and that's it. But we can, I will point out in my decision later when it comes up. For right now, I would actually like to continue. So, let's do this again. The prisoner says his name is Tarkus Demos. Dressus led out alongside, tapping his tonsils with his finger to his temple. Then I don't think this is a complicated matter. He dies. His family been a driving force in the Vendrian Guard. Killing him should demoralize whatever's left of the Tarkus clan. All must be given a chance to find absolution in the service of Chorus. The mage points a finger at his favorite officer, and you know full well this has always been our way. He has a chance to be a slave or a soldier, only then do we feed him to the pigs. We'd let you take prisoners, but you can't control them. You send these conscripts out on patrol and they never return, defecting all over again. Can't let this nonsense strategy continue. Well, I insist. This Oathbreaker be taken to the voices of Narat, leaving us at an impasse. Fortunately, we have a fate binder here to settle the matter for us. What gives? The last I was here, that the favorite showed a little more mercy to the enemy. In truth, I should execute him because he's already had the opportunity to be a Scarlet Chorus person, but I like the Scarlet Chorus, so. And then that settles that. Oh, that reminds me, I unfortunately need to go do this again. Let's see. And then so that, so that, so that, so that, that. Okay, and I've already got a staff of atrophy. I got a staff of Storm's Heart. I could get the other two staffs, but what I want to get is down here. Unfortunately. I want those camping supplies because, as I said, one of my companions got badly injured, so. Okay.
Will do.
And now we can get going back the way we wanted to go in the first place. So.
Sorry, I can't.
Yes, you can. The exit right there. Let's get going. Now, as I said the first time I recorded this video, I do not like the loading times of this game. They always seem to take longer than they should, or at least in my opinion. Pardon me. But I think that for now I'll keep them in unless they become a real bother to you folk. All 6 of you that watched the last video, hopefully you're watching this video as well. I can only hope. Now, I will be also honest and say I was very, very tempted to merely pick a different character, but I like the mage idea a little bit too much, so I'm sticking with my pure mage idea. Oh, that's right. I made a few other minor flaws. So, for one, I accidentally, at the very first mission you get in Conquest, I accidentally sided with the Scarlet Chorus instead of the Disfavored like I had done the first time. That creates a few new options, but I think I chose the pretty decent ones. So you have the choice of either you need to feed your army, of course, because you're spread out too much for your supplies, so you have to decide whether to raid from merchants or raid from the farms. Now, I chose to raid from the merchants so less people got hurt. And people wouldn't hate us as much. Because, as I tried to say during Conquest, it was that I tried to be as win the hearts and minds of the people as I could, but as you can be for a evil empire trying to take over the entire continent sort of playthrough, or setting, actually. So, there's that. Whoops.
On it.
I didn't mean to click that, but unfortunately I clicked that. And I really should have been reading that, but like I said, I've played this separating the tiers, treasures. The Gates of Judgment is the name given to the mountain pass separating the tiers from the Northern Empire. Treacherous scree slopes and deadly rock slides create a nigh impassable barrier responsible for centuries of peace between the two regions. In 428, Kairos' army began the conquest of the tiers by smashing through the Gates of Judgment. And as a young Fatefinder tasked with seeing Horde, you were part of this force for its battle. Turning the portal with the Scarlet Chorus, you proved your worth in the eyes of the court and the armies of heroes by shedding blood with the others in this storied battle. Those who fought with you fondly consider you one of the Gate Crashers, a sort of unofficial veterans club for members of this pivotal battle. Well, that went well. Nope. And this character is pushing us over. Hail to you, guardian of the law, the man dressed in fine merchant, so he's a merchant. Garb, greet you with a smile. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. Let's see your wares. I want this. And that's it. What does this stuff do? Oh. Cool. Now comes the fun part. Let's get to these Archons and, well, let's see what happens. Now, if last time I played this is any indication, I should also ding from this time. Although, considering I've run through this considerably faster the first time, or the second time than the first time, we should have time to delve right into the, well, what's going to happen after.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tiersmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds the staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with. Profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with a mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. And the rod speaks, apparently. So, if you see anything green, it's best to mouse over to read, because it usually is either important or is probably actually something along this line. So, the voices of Nerat is one person. Sort of. Kind of. He's one, but many. Another name for him should be Legion, to be truthful. But then again, that's how he rolls with his army. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. So, the rod is saying, well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mass seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. His favored commander raises his voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archon. Perhaps we should table this discussion and let our guest speak.
Speaking of strategic failures,
what does it say?
Who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
And I thought you had left agents within these Tiersmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let
Sorry,
it happen.
I'm intrigued by the fact that the
Incompetent or in
staff
cahoots.
is talking
Either
to
way,
it. That is
this
so
mess has
cool.
your filthy stink all over it.
The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his weight on his war maul as blue luminescence crackles through his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
I like that. The voices Narant tosses his scepter into the air, catching it as it descends back down, and the voices speak again. This is so cool. You hear the voices in your head. Good, good. Now pay attention. You might miss something.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively.
You breathe from your mouth too.
Last time I trusted
unless your lungs
clear
are gone
report,
through the
my
giant
troops
hole
failed
in
to
your
come
chest.
home.
And I know I talked over that, but I will read it again if you couldn't hear him over me. I do deeply apologize. It's just one of those, I felt like I needed to react. If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers that we heard, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home. Oh, Ash, old boy.
Ash, old boy.
Oh.
If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tearsmen, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
Okay, so Siren is the Archon of Song, and the youngest Archon sent to conquer the Tears. Young and inexperienced, Siren is sworn to the voices of Naran, who uses her power of charm and manipulation to swell the ranks of the Scarlet Chorus with volunteers. She comes in handy. Lullabies to help you cope. Oh yeah. And let's see what the staff is telling us now. Take care that you don't learn too much, Fatebinder. An excess of knowledge, of curiosity even, can earn unwanted attention. Hold your tongue. I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren. Commander's hand moved to the hilt of the blade, though the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for a head. They bicker like children, do they not? The fifth eyes creating tenor pierces the tension of the tent, and all eyes land on the crimson sphere. I meant only to say welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. The armored retainer bows with rushed inelegance, then rises to a salute. Not a moment too soon. Unfortunately for you, a moment just a little bit too soon. You shouldn't have spoken out, my friend.
Did I give you permission to speak?
The Archon of War turns to you, his blue eyes wide with anger. Many portraits you've seen depict Graven Ash with stern, unamused countenance. He is even more taciturn in the flesh. Apologies for this sudden entrance.
How wonderful you could join us, Quakebringer, Executioner of Cairn. You grace us with your presence.
Yeah, this is what
hoping you have another edict for bringing childish Archons to heel.
In 430, final year of the Conquest Tears, Cain, the Archon of Stone, stopped answering the commands of Graven Ash and openly questioned Kairos' right to rule the Tears. Kairos decreed the traitor Archon must be put to death, and you were chosen to proclaim Cain's death sentence, the Edict of Stone. Cain sensed his doom coming and tried to stop you, but disfavored and Scarlet Chorus soldiers were ordered to stall Cain, giving you time to proclaim the Edict. The power of the Edict didn't just break Cain, it ravaged the whole of Azure, cratering the landscape and ushering in almost daily earthquakes. Because of this, many of those who witnessed the event know you as Quakebringer, the one who turned Azure into the Stone Sea. And they all kind of, it legitimately said there, if you missed it, they all kind of hate me for it.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
Ah! That's...
Modesty is your prerogative.
No,
but know that
damn it! I
cooperation
like the
and
voices of
goodwill
Nora.
have been
He's
rarities
really
of
awesome.
late. You do your Lord Tunon a great honor by aiding your cousins in the...
Oh, don't mind us while you trade your gushing... Once again, you bring us support in a time of need. We fondly remember your service to the chorus in the taking of the bastard city. We knew back then you were destined for great things. But we had not anticipated you would be twice honored with the task of proclamation. So, do not keep us waiting. What is the Overlord's will?
Let's be as middle ground as we can, and by choosing number 1 there. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. Its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens, and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountain, feel renewed. The tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor. Well, that is really cool.
The Overlord
I'm
means
going to
to
gain
compel us into action.
more.
No doubt the avalanches and the mountains are part of this
I
ultimatum.
really like the voices.
We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure.
The fact that his
There is
staff
no
like
room
talks
for
about
error, and no other way out of this valley alive.
And yes, I apologize again for talking over the characters. I suppose it's kind of.
We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
I apologize if you hear that.
So, you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft. Timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
I apologize. I don't know where it is, or if you heard that, I deeply apologize. I unfortunately cannot control the things. Let's see. I'm going to... Oh, here we go. Watch him squirm, so many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless... Oh, right. Watch him squirm, so many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see Blood Echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. He'd use the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry, and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's ribcage, because that's how a real man deals with grief. I'm
You make it sound like you've been putting even the slightest effort into getting a foothold across the Mittani, when all you've done is set your gangs to uncoordinated raids. You're the Archon of Secrets. Why is it you still don't know the enemy's full strength and capabilities? Maybe you know, and choose not to share.
Look, if you're afraid to send more troops against the Oathbreakers, just admit that you're a coward, and allow us to take charge of the situation. The Scarlet Chorus will be happy to prove it can do what the disfavored cannot.
I don't want to upset both of them. This will upset him, which I really like the voices of Narat. He is the coolest character I've ever run into. This will probably upset them both. Let's try this.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as
Damn
children.
it!
I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mittani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
Well, I've gained a lot of favored, so...
You delivered your edict. Do not pretend it gives you the right to give orders to an Archon.
It kind of does, dumbass. It kind of does. My Lord Barrick, though you know him only by name, Barrick is the commander of the Stone Shield, well regarded by the disfavored High Command, and his band has been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If its favored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Thus, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunon's chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. She'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as she doesn't do anything too stupid.
I'm gonna punch you for that. Oh! What did they tell us now? I'm not ignoring you! I've been listening to you! Suit yourself, Fatebinder, the more you ignore us. I don't want to ignore you! No, come back! I want to be your friend, Voices!
Fine.
Please?
The fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment. But I will never understand why the Voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. Now, if you'll leave me be, I have a battle to plan. I imagine duty requires you speak with the chorus further. But if I can convince you to lend a hand, most of my legion is trapped beyond the mountains, so I'm in need of an added sword or two. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
That's a girl? I cannot tell that it's a girl. I suppose that's good armor then.
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the outer valley.
Oh, force of habit. And though I'm loath to mention it, the chorus will can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp due east. Seek her out if you must. I must. I need to make up for what I did earlier. So, there's a few things that I need to check now. Missives? Now that you have delivered the word of the edict, the time remaining until Kairos' Day of Sword appears next to the current date on the navigation bar. The terms of Kairos' edict must be met by this date, or everyone in Vendrian's well will die, including us. And we don't know that. Ah, here we go. Let's see. Scarlet Chorus. I nearly have a level of wrath from them, which is not good. Also nearly have a level of wrath from the disfavored, but I have a level of favor from the Vendrian Guard. She's loyalty, but Graven Ash hates my ass. And the Voices of Narot nearly hate my ass too. Boy. Well, as I said, but oh, actually, that reminds me. Let's learn. Ta-da! So we've got a new ice spell. And I can pew-pew it. And this because... There we go. And we definitely want this. Oh, so close. I can almost afford that. What can we do with you? Can't upgrade you. Let's upgrade you. Can I please afford? Damn it, you are so close. Well, for now, let's just increase the range and update it. Okie doke. Well, let's get out of here.
Can't do that.
Yes, you can. I just misplayed. And unfortunately, it looks like that whole conversation did indeed take longer than I expected. So, once we actually get out into the camp, I'm going to end the video. No, actually, you know what? I'll let this go just a little bit longer, and I don't know. For now, okay, once we get back into the camp, I'm going to end it there, and we'll pick up next time by picking up all the quests. So, there's that. And once again, I deeply apologize for the lack of sound voiceover in the last video. Unfortunately, and I just had to play through the Conquest end game again to catch up to where I was last time because of the lack of voice. So, know that I certainly paid the price for not noticing that I wasn't recording my voice. So, still, but nonetheless, I would like to apologize for making that mistake. Well, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!